My name is Nate Murphy, and I am the area leader here for the math department here at Edina High School. And I'm hoping that this video will be useful in helping you know what exactly would be the appropriate math class for your student to register for this upcoming school year. So first off, let's look at the list of options. So as you can see from this list here, this is the standard track that students take as they progress through math here at the high school. Now, most students, when they come in, they're starting out usually in intermediate algebra at ninth grade, and then they move to geometry in 10th grade, and then algebra 2 as a junior, and then they're able to pick from different electives, which we'll get to in just a minute, as a senior. But I know that we have different tracks for students. That's just kind of the standard, the traditional track. But I know some students are in some advanced tracks. So if that's the case, you just want to look to see what class your student would have just completed in this previous year, or the class that they're currently taking. So if your student is currently in geometry, they will want to take Algebra 2 next year at the high school. If they're currently in intermediate algebra, make sure that they sign up for geometry. Okay, make sure that you follow this this list of classes, because the last thing we want is for a student to register for a class where maybe a prerequisite hasn't been met. So a prerequisite for Algebra 2 is that the student has completed geometry. We don't want to change the sequence of these classes. Now, if your child is currently in Algebra 2, you will want to probably talk to the teacher that they have and find out what class they recommend to take as an elective for this upcoming year. So here's the options. Now, most students, if I would say that your teacher is probably going to say that they take pre-calculus. So after Algebra 2, this list over here gives us all the different options that they would be able to take entering in their ninth grade year at the high school. And most of those students, like I said, will be taking pre-calculus. Now, maybe they're currently in Algebra 2 and struggling a little bit. Well, there's a couple of options. If they're struggling bad enough, maybe it's not a bad idea just to have them take Algebra 2 again. There's no shame in that. There's no problem with that. But they could take Algebra 2 again here at the high school. Otherwise, maybe they'll want to take a college algebra class, or college algebra prep would be maybe another good option. But those are questions that if you don't have the answer to, or your teacher doesn't have the answer to, I would strongly recommend emailing me so we could open up that conversation. But usually most students go from Algebra 2 in the middle school to taking pre-calculus because they are on an advanced track. But otherwise, if you have questions about that, please make sure you talk to the current teacher. Now, after they take pre-calculus, you might be wondering, well, what are they going to do after that? Well, most students after completing pre-calculus would move to either calculus AB or calculus BC if they're more advanced. But usually they take AB, then go into BC, and then they would be able to take their senior year. They'd be able to take even multivariable calc. But otherwise, maybe they don't want to go that route. There's still some other great options which you can see from that list of electives. For example, the college algebra class, that's really a college level algebra class, just like it sounds. And so students take that class to get the pacing and everything that they can expect from a college level course. And then Intro to Math Sciences is another class. In fact, if a student takes college algebra and Intro to Math Sciences, those are both paired as one semester classes, they'd be able to get actually college credit if they got a high enough score on their ACT test. So those are all options though for the future, but I just wanted to put it out there that the track that your student is on, there's going to be a lot of options for them to take as they continue. But for most of your students, as middle school students, you want to make sure, again, that you follow this track. And if you have any questions and you want to ask me and get clarification on what those classes are about, or maybe what class your child should take, please feel free to email me. I'd rather have you email me now and we can get those questions and get those things figured out now, as opposed to having your child register for a class, maybe it not be the correct or proper class to be registered in, and then we're not finding that out maybe until a week or two into the semester. So we want to try to figure those out before the school year starts. So feel free to contact me. Otherwise, feel free to contact your student's current math teacher, because they will also know your child best as far as what class maybe would be best appropriately suited for them. Have a great night.